It's Friday. It's the Friday episode of the Business Hour. A lot happening in the Nigerian business landscape. Dangote Refinery has reduced the price of PMS just for the holiday season. As a matter of fact, it's a big deal. As we approach the festive season, Nigerians can break a sign of relief as Dangote Refinery has reduced the price of petrol motor spirits. We'll have a lot to talk about. I'm also going to talk about the price of CNG and also LPG. That's liquefied petroleum gas. Your cooking gas. The prices are definitely going to come down because of this new policy coming in from customs. A lot to talk about regarding in the world of business. My name is Frank Fagbo. Let's go right into what we have for today. As we approach the festive season, Nigerians can breathe a sign of relief as Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reduced the price of its petrol motor spirit product from 970 naira to 899 naira per liter. Now, this move is aimed at easing transport costs for Nigerians during the festive season. We're going to analyze this with a guest analyst I have with me, Ayomikun Olutoye, who is very much with us for the business every Thursdays and Fridays. Let's take a look at what this story has. You see that Dangote Refinery, we're seeing Dangote Refinery reducing the price from 970 naira to 899 naira per liter. And the price reduction is aimed at easing a lot of the transport costs. If you look at food inflation, if you look at inflation, the major driver, especially food right now, is the cost of fuel. We even have a report to that effect. Maybe my producer is going to put up that report, so a lot of Nigerians will see what is really happening in that space. What are your takes regarding that? Looking at Dangote Refinery reducing the price, do you think it's just for the festive season and then?
Obviously, good morning.
Yeah.
It's good to be here again. Obviously, it's stated already.
Yeah.
It's going to last for just the festive season, and then after which, like I always say, we always have a way of returning to the
Status quo.
So, but now this is one thing. It's one thing for Dangote to reduce the price.
Yeah.
Now the fear now is implementation. Do you understand? How many petroleum services or renders would adhere to these? Because it's easy to say these things out there, but
Very true.
are there people who are ready to implement it?
It's the private sector, so
Okay.
it's not the business of government. Dangote is a private individual. The refinery
Okay.
is private driven, and so for them to be able to put out this information, put it out to the public, they have a way of making sure it's being implemented.
We'll see about that, hopefully.
And the funny thing is that the refinery is also offering a special deal where customers can purchase an additional liter of fuel on credit. But for every liter bought on cash base, you get one extra liter that you can purchase on credit. But it's also going to be backed up by different banks. And they stated the bank has to be Access, Zenith, and one other bank. I can't remember, but they stated one other bank as well that will be able to make sure they become like that credit institution for the credit you're collecting, you're getting from the refinery. I think it's a laudable initiative if you ask me. The price reduction is expected to bring some relief to Nigerians who are preparing for the holidays. But what happens after the holidays?
Of course, we already said this initially. We return back to the status quo, like we said earlier. So, but
970 to 899. That's about 71 naira difference.
Yes.
It's a big.
It's a laudable initiative,
yeah,
like you said, and you would wish that it can continue.
Do you think it's a marketing strategy for Dangote, especially for the marketers?
Yes, you can see it from that angle as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and so thankfully it has come at a period where the festivity,
the demand is high.
The demand is high, and so it's a good time. If yes, we can see it this way. It's still trying to reduce the cost of transportation.
Yeah.
But like you said, it could be a marketing strategy that has come at the right time. Who knows? Maybe they waited till this time to implement it, and it might just pay off.
All right, let's take a look at some other stories. Road inflation. The transport cost has soared this festive season. As the festive season approaches, many residents of Lagos and across the country are preparing to travel back to their hometowns, leading to a surge in demand for road transportation. Unfortunately, this surge in demand has resulted in a significant increase in the cost of transport, with fares rising as much as 20 to 30%. Some as even high as 50%. My producer is going to put it on the screen. You're going to see the prices of these fares from Lagos to the east, from the northern region, and also the southern region. The surge in demand for road transportation has led to a significant increase in transportation costs. The cost of traveling from Lagos to the east, south, and northern regions of Nigeria has increased significantly. For instance, the fare for a 15-16-seater bus from Lagos to Abuja has risen from 28,500 to 35,000 naira. 28,500 to 35,000 naira. Now, passengers are advised to plan their trips in advance and budget accordingly to avoid any last-minute surprises. But no matter how much you plan your trip in advance, as long as it's December, you're still going to be caught in the web of this transport inflation. It's so tough. What are your takes?
Yeah, now that's the irony of it all.
Yeah.
We're talking about Dangote Refinery planning to cut the fuel price down.
Yeah.
The price of fuel down, rather. You see, now you would, Nigeria has been a very ironic, personally, I don't expect that reduction would take effect in the transport sector. Because we all know that, they're always looking for ways to take advantage of the festivity.
Yeah.
Of which normally on a normal, in a normal scenario, normal situation, that shouldn't be the case. You understand? So
sure.
If the price of fuel is going to be cut down, the cost of transportation should reduce. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I'm surprised to see that the price of moving from Lagos to Abuja in a 15-16-seater bus has risen to 35,000. Honestly, the last time I did it, the last time I went to Abuja by bus, I did 9,000. I didn't even know it had gotten to 28,500. But it just goes to show you how, the inflation rate or the things increase in Nigeria, especially at the time when the festivity has now kicked in.
We can't even put a blame on 100% on fuel because it's a demand and supply thing. Look, you can see the prices on your screen. These are the prices on your screen. So expensive. A lot of Nigerians are literally clamoring for a reduction in these prices. But then it's a normal thing. It happens every now and then, and it's now worse because of fuels, because of the advent of the cost of fuel and all that.
Yes, it has been a norm, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it coming as a Nigerian,
even flight tickets.
Exactly. If you didn't see it coming as a Nigerian, then you were probably hoping for a miracle. It was always going to happen. Festivity or festive periods, it's normal that the transport cost will increase. It's normal. So, but the rate at which it increases is what should be questioned or what can be questioned.
Do you think we should have a regulatory body to regulate some of all these things? I think if you look at in the purview of the FCCPC, which is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, it's in their pure purview to regulate some of all these prices, especially that has to deal with consumers like Nigerians and all whatnot. There has to be a regulatory body that to regulate the prices of transport. And do you think it is the NERTW? Do you think they have the capacity, or they are even adding to the pain of Nigeria?
What makes you think it's not NERTW that is even adding? Like you said, under normal circumstances, there should be regulatory bodies. You understand? No driver or public transport personnel should go out there and just do things however he or she likes.
Very true.
Do you understand? Thereby inflicting pains on citizens. You understand? Because this sector, whether we like it or not, there is no way we can remove it from one of the driving sectors or sectors that push the economy of Nigeria as a nation. So if you're going to have such a sector that pushes or contributes to the economy of the nation, there should definitely be regulatory bodies. Let them work on a uniform basis. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No driver or public transport personnel should come out and do however he or she likes, or just make life unbearable for them. Let there be regulatory bodies. Let Nigerians know that okay, this is what we're paying for this. This is why we are paying for this. There is a regulatory body in charge of it that has made this. Not like me walking to a park. I'm paying this one. Do you understand? Another day, or maybe someone else is going to another park, paying something else because why? People are taking advantage of the festive period to, add to the cost of transportation. It's not fair on Nigerians. So there should be regulatory bodies for this.
We're going on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to start with a report from the streets of Lagos regarding what is happening with our budget. 2025 budget. Yesterday, 2 days back, was a great day for the Nigerian economy because the president took the 2025 budget to the National Assembly, and we're definitely going to see whether it is going to be passed into law. But there are lots of controversies, especially as regards the 2025 budget and the 2024 budget, extension of the 2024 budget. We're going to find out about this after the break, and you're going to get access to the report. This is the Business Hour.
Scintillating Christmas celebration and a prosperous New Year 2025.
From all of us, we just want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2025.
This is to wish you Merry Christmas. Una do well for standing by us all this time.
In a significant development, here is a more prosperous New Year, filled with happiness and
With
love.
a wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for always watching our Ubonge station.
Happy ọdún Kérésìmesì, Akin fún ọdún, a yóò máa ṣọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún láyé.
Hi, I am Chukwuma Okoro. This is wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Anyị na-ekele unu n'ihi na unu soro anyị bido mgbe this year bido till now. Nkoko.
Season greetings from all of us and Voice of the People team.
Season's greetings from all of us at VOP TV.
The Utah is a season of love, a season of hope, a season of blessings. May the divine light of Christmas shine in your life this season. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Voice of the People Television. Thank you for sticking with us.
In a move aimed at ensuring continuity in fiscal operations and seamless execution of key government projects, the National Assembly has approved the extension of the 2024 budget to June, till the 30th of June 2025. And all of this is against the backdrop of the new 2025 budget that has also been taken to the National Assembly. But you're not going to be hearing from myself and our guest analyst here. You're going to be hearing from Nigerians because we have a report that done by Matthew Ogunswade, our in-house reporter, on the streets of Lagos, talking to Nigerians regarding what they think about the new, the 2025 budget.
Tinubu has presented the 2025 national budget, valued at 47.96 trillion naira, to a joint session of the National Assembly. The budget, themed Securing Peace, Rebuilding Prosperity, allocates 15.81 trillion naira, 33.1% of the total expenditure for debt servicing. While this has raised concerns about its potential impact on development, the government insists that the budget aligns with economic realities to drive growth. Additionally, the government announced that the 2024 budget will be extended until June 2025 to ensure the full implementation of capital projects. Senate President Godswill Akpabio confirmed the extension, explaining that it is necessary to facilitate the completion of key capital components. The administration emphasizes that debt servicing and infrastructure development remain central to its fiscal strategy for 2025. Voice of the People TV is on the street to gather public reactions to this proposed budget.
Now, people are suffering. Everything is going skyrocketing. The first night is almost 120,000. Tomato, pepper, if this is high, if they can do whatever is within them to make sure that things are better for us, that price of things come down, the ordinary man in the street can at least buy food and eat a day. It's not too much to us. Just to make sure that if you feed, that you can rest and sleep well. If there's anything they can do to make everything balance, let things come to normal. As a new year is coming, we should come with new things, and new expectation, and new life for us. All this will declare the budget. At least what I want them to work on, to look at what are those things that even cause the inflations, and they begin to address it. For example, at least we need food for at least for less privileged people, and other, for example, like the transportation, they have in mind, like how the food can come down. How can somebody transport himself to work to and fro without any much stress?
I don't have anything to say because what they call rigid government under democracy. The government has spoken. Nobody can change it. They don't seek for our opinion. If they can stop their illegal and corrupted way of life.
The increments of fuel has automatically affect the food crisis in Nigeria. The average man, especially the poor man in our midst, cannot eat. People eat one square meal in 3 days. There are a lot of crises on ground because of that increment of fuel. So let the government do open border. Let them open border for more food to come in. I think it will alleviate the sufferings that emanated from increment of fuel prices. So it will really help the poor man. Looking forward to a better 2025 from the government. Nigerians are expecting a lot from President Tinubu. We regard him as our father. So he should act as a father. A father will not allow his children to be suffering or go on hunger. So President Tinubu should know that we are hungry. He should do something on food crisis.
As we have heard various opinions from the people, it's clear that with the proposed budget, a lot needs to be done to significantly reduce economic hardship ahead of 2025. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
Let's have a breakdown of the 2025 budget of restoration presented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the National Assembly. Before we even talk about the extension of the 2024 budget, you've heard from Nigerians that the government consider Nigerians before even passing this budget. The total budget is 47.9 trillion naira. Revenue target is 34.82 trillion naira. That's giving us an insight as to what is happening with the budget deficit. I mean, we have a deficit of about 13 trillion naira, and that's massive. 13 trillion naira deficit. How do we intend to fund it? And knowing fully well that this our current budget, with what is happening with the price of oil right now, the price of oil is hovering around $72. We even have a story to that effect regarding the global price. And oil benchmark, the price for our oil benchmark is $75 per barrel. It's a tall order, if you ask me, for the Nigerian government, because how sure are we that we have what it takes to be able to control the price of market of oil in the global market? We don't have what it takes. That's one. If we hold that in one hand, remember that we've been having issues with our supply. And our supply benchmark is 2 million barrels. And imagine we're not even able to meet up with our supply, meaning we don't even have the capacity to be able to fund the budget. I guess that's why you're seeing the government saying, okay, we should still extend the 2024 budget to 30th of June, 2025. What, Amiko, do you think do you like the idea of extending the budget?
Well, it's at this point, it's not a question of if I like, one thing I noticed from the report, there was something common, in what everyone else said, and that was food. I don't know if you noticed. About absolutely. 3 persons. The problem of it's Nigerians who don't really have a problem with the budget. But are there measures put in place to mitigate the adverse effect of this extension? That's the question. Can the government put in, because if you extend the budget, there are people who would, if you don't meet some basic daily needs of people, some might not even be alive to see the implementation of the budget and everything. You understand? So extending it's not a problem. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. You understand? But let the government put in measures to mitigate the adverse effects of this extension. Let them find means to see that daily needs of the common Nigerian is being met. And I think if that is in place, because not everybody is interested in a political perspective of everything. A Nigerian just wants to wake up, have a good life, eat. One even said, I want to be able to eat and sleep and rest well. That's it just shows you the priority. So meeting daily needs is what's the priority to common. So if they can put in measures, extend the budget, good. If it's going to make you meet up key projects that you have highlighted or written down, fine, it's good. But at the same time, put in measures, to just cushion the effect of the adverse effects of the extension on the common Nigerians. So I think if that is done, extension should not be a problem as long as it's done or met.
Nigerians have been talking about food.
Yes.
And you heard it from the report. And based on the allocation to the agri sector, 826 billion naira is what was allocated to the agri sector. Is that sufficient enough? Knowing fully well that the agri sector is more often, it's more or less the bedrock of any economy. If you can't eat, you can't manufacture. If you can't eat, you can have healthcare facilities. In short, lack of food is what causes, or lack of quality meal and good food is what gives you the illness that lands you in the hospital. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah, I get.
So food is a major part of any economy. 826 billion naira from a 47.9 trillion naira budget allocated for agri. Is that enough for 200 million Nigerians?
We can.
Defense and security got 4.9
trillion. And then
infrastructure, 4 trillion. Health, 2.48 trillion naira. Education, 3.52 trillion naira. And I should see agri. Immediately after infrastructure, the next should be agri.
Exactly. I agree with you totally. Agriculture should play a major role. Like, should be given a very, 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 very stringent attention. Like we heard from that report, I said earlier, food. It takes. I don't know if you've ever been hungry. It's sometimes when you are hungry, you know what to do, but you cannot do it.
Yeah, very true.
You understand? You try to do it. So it just goes to show you, the relevance of food. So if you ask me, going to this budget allocation and all, there should be a scale of preference, and agriculture should be at the top there. If other sectors are getting close trillions, I mean, agriculture should not sit short of trillion. We're talking about food here. If the persons who are going to function in the other sectors still need the food we're talking about.
Very true.
You understand? So if you're not feeding the people who will function in the other sectors, then what's the need allocating funds to the other sector when the people that are supposed to function they are not eating well, are not feeding well? Do you understand? So is the goal now to send people to the hospital? So we are sending more money to the health sector than the agricultural sector. So I think there's a misbalance there, and there should be a balance in the realistic sense of it.
Okay, the budget extension 2024, the lifespan of the 2024 budget has been extended to June 2025. And based on 2024 budget, if you look at some key components, for instance, the price for the oil benchmark per barrel is $79. $79. And if we put that alongside the 2025 budget, the 2025 budget has $75 per barrel. This is $79 per barrel. And 2024 is way higher than that of 2025. And if you're extending that to 30th of June 2025, it means that a lot of things were not put into consideration. And a lot of things also needs to be done to address all the other issues. We're still in the business of paying back the loans we've accrued over the years, using a large part of our budget to be able to pay back the loans. And now we're caught in the web of extending the 2024 budget. So meaning that the 2025 budget is just going to be used for 6 months. Are we also going to extend it to 2026? These are the conversations we should be having. And that's why we always talk about the fact that it's not just you shouldn't have a knee-jerk approach to addressing issues, national issues like this. It has to be properly done. You need to consult key stakeholders in different sectors for you to be able to know what those sectors need, for you to also know what to allocate to those sectors, and that gives you an idea as to what to do, because it looks like it's just an open book. It's just something everybody just come, what do you think we can allocate here? What do you think? Without considering and without consulting the key stakeholders in those sectors, and also consulting Nigerians. You heard from the report. But do you think Nigerians were well consulted before bringing about this report?
Obviously, no. If putting myself at the helm of affairs, if I watched this report, and then I want to allocate funds to each sector, what sector do you think I would allocate more funds to? Agriculture, of course. I heard more than one person mention food.
Very true.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's definitely, and one said food, and then he said, so that I can sleep and rest well. So it just gives you an incline into what is the major needs of, do you understand? So I don't think Nigerians were consulted. It looks to me like a paper and pen was just brought out, an initiative. Let's just do this, let's just do this. Of course, we don't want to talk about the other aspects, so we're not sure. But some other factors may have come into it just to favor, this is Nigeria, for crying out loud. Just to allocate money to one sector so that they can...
It's still under scrutiny, so let's see what the Senate, what the National Assembly is going to do. This season is season of budget padding. Let's figure out. As a matter of fact, even the 2025 budget, the amount that has been allocated to renovate Aso Rock, billions and billions, and it was renovated last year. 3 years back, it was also renovated. We're going on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue some other stories making the round in the world of business. This is the Business Hour.
The gift of love.
The gift of joy.
The gift of laughter.
The gift of happiness.
The gift of peace. May all these and more be yours this Yuletide season.
Merry Christmas!
Season's greetings from the management and staff of Voice of the People Television.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium.
Global oil prices have declined due to a growing concerns over demand growth prospects in 2025. The decline in oil prices is expected to have a significant impact on the global economy, particularly for oil importing countries like that of Nigeria, like the frontier markets like that of Nigeria. And you sure know that we're an oil economy. And I've been talking about this for months. I've been saying that 2025 is not going to be a great year for the price of oil in the global market. Donald Trump is back in the picture. The demand for oil is dwindling by the day. You're seeing Tesla stocks rising every now and then. And if we're still pitching our tent with oil, then we should be considering spreading our tentacles across board, diversifying our economy. There is no better time to diversify than now. Ayomiko, what's your take regarding this?
You've said it all. There is no better time to diversify than now, because you want to, we talked about global competitiveness. You want to really align, with what is happening out there. And
the demand is even dropping.
Of course, if the demand
everybody's going EV, electric vehicles.
What do you expect? If I cannot afford this, what am I going to do? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there should be some, and I just hope, when everyone goes EV, you understand? I hope the price there too does not chase people back. But before it chases people back, maybe something I've done about the oil sector. Do you understand? So it's common, let me use the word common sense. Do you understand? You as a person, not everybody can afford the same thing. Do you understand? So there should be ways to let's allow for diversification. Do you understand? Let it be an open choice. And such in that way or in that manner, one person is not going to abuse the privilege of being a sole operator or sole.
That's why we're seeing OPEC coming into the picture, and we've been talking about the diversification for a long time, because we need to diversify the Nigerian economy. It's been long overdue. We need to focus on agriculture, focus on manufacturing, focus on so many other aspects of the Nigerian economy away from oil, because the demand is dwindling, is dropping by the day. A lot of people, and as a matter of fact, there's a report that says that more than 70% of people that have tried EVs, that's electric vehicles, for those who are watching, electric vehicles, the likes of Tesla and others, many of them are not even coming back. They're not coming back to fuel because you can't taste something that is good and come back to your vomit. You get, and that's what fossil fuel and this whole idea of a green earth, cleaner energy. You're seeing COP28, COP29, COP30. These are the conversations headlining the global economy. How we can diversify from fossil fuel to cleaner energy. Those cleaner energy are the likes of EVs. And Elon Musk is smiling to the bank every blessed day because of this, because of his strategic position in all of this. I feel that the Nigerian government should now start looking at ways to diversify, but there are also conversations around the fact that the African economy is always late to the party. And we're late to the party, meaning that we're still going to be in the fossil fuel oil is still going to be in massive demand in the African continent. Do you share the same sentiment?
Yes,
we're going to be late to the party as regards EVs.
It's a normal thing. It's an African thing. We're going to be late to the party. You know, like Africans, should I say Africa or maybe Nigeria?
Yeah.
We like to do catch up.
Yeah, we like to catch up.
We like to do catch up, you understand? But what happened to being proactive? Move with the flow. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Move with the flow, diversify, you know, and the like. So if you ask me, I agree. We're going to be late to the party as the Nigerians and the Africans generally.
JP Morgan is even saying that we have a surplus of approximately 1.2 million barrels per day. That's, on the average, we're having surplus of oil in the global economy, 1.2 million barrels per day. And that means that those 1.2 million barrels per day is affecting the price. And that's why we're seeing rate cut, OPEC trying to tell oil-producing nations and oil-exporting nations to reduce their supply. They're saying they should reduce their supply. They gave us a quota of 1.5 million barrels. Last month, we surpassed that. I think for the second time in the whole of 2024, we surpassed that last month and last 2 months. We're producing 1.6 million barrels. At a point in time, we also produced 1.7 million barrels. And our OPEC quota is 1.5. And there are lots of regulations around demand. The demand is not enough. The demand is not as much as it used to be. The supply is outweighing demand. And you know what happens when supply outweighs demand? Economics 101, the price drops. And that's what is literally happening. Let's move on to some other stories. Tariff cut. Customs are declaring zero import tariff on cooking gas and also CNG equipment in a move to aim at reducing the cost of living and boosting Nigeria's transition to clean energy sources. The Nigerian Customs Service has announced the removal of import duties on imported cooking gas, that's LPG, your liquefied petroleum gas. And to put a caveat, for you to understand this, LPG is not the same as CNG because a lot of Nigerians have been confusing it. CNG, thinking it's LPG. It's not the same. There are different types of gases. LPG is what you use for your cooking gas. The one you take your cylinder to go buy. The CNG is a different type of gas. It's the one you use as an alternative for fossil fuel and diesel. It's what you use as an alternative, and it's way cheaper. We've been having conversations around CNG, and right now you're seeing customs, zero import tariff and import duties on LPGs and CNGs. Let's see whether this is going to have a positive impact in the price of LPGs, because a lot of Nigerians have been saying it's becoming so expensive. A 12.5 kg cylinder is now being filled with nothing less than 15,000 naira on the streets.
18,000.
Yes. 15 to 18,000 naira. Yeah. So now that we're seeing customs coming into the picture, we're putting zero tariff on this particular, and even the equipment, meaning the cylinders, different equipment that have been imported, as long as it has to do with LPG and CNG, zero tariff is being done, is being placed on this particular product. Do you think? I think it's going to have a positive impact on the price.
Welcoming development. A very, I had to fill gas some days, but and that's why I'm familiar with the current price.
Yeah.
12.5 kg is like 18,200 precisely.
Emphasis on the 200.
That's 18,200. So it's a welcoming development because you see these are things we can't do without. Do people still use those?
They still do.
They still do, but gas has taken over. You know, use of cylinder and all, but it has taken over. So doing this would so have an impact. I believe this one looks beyond paper. This it looks like it's really going to work, because it's just common sense. If you cut tariff on the import of gas, it's common sense. It will affect, except we have greedy people in, and that's when we're going to know if there's actually a problem in the sector.
That's so the government is saying that the move is that's custom. They're saying that the move is aimed at reducing the cost of living and also boosting Nigeria's transition to clean energy sources. The initiative are in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidential gas for growth initiative. There's always one initiative or the other with this administration. It's just so funny how for everything that's been done, there's an initiative. They also set up a committee to monitor the initiative. The bureaucratic process in this country is just so much.
As long as
a policy. What is all this?
As long as everything turns out fine.
Yeah, branding.
Let's keep having
always brand initiative and all that. What is all this? The presidential gas for growth initiative. Importers seeking to benefit from this must also obtain an import duty exemption certificate. So there are also bylaws for you to be able to partake and benefit from this. You must obtain an import duty exemption certificate, that's the IDEC, from the Federal Ministry of Finance, and a letter of support from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Energy. Bureaucracy. Bottlenecks. I smell it.
I read this report and fine. I applauded it. But when we got to these bottlenecks, like you said, I now thought, is this not going to be a barrier? If you're asking for approval from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Energy,
what if they're not in good terms? What if it sounds straightforward on paper. Office of the Special Advisor to President, just good. No, it's not like that. Do you know what you have to go? What you want one office to the other, and then maybe I tell you, some persons are not that persistent. Some persons just they can't partake in it. So it's just bottlenecks, like you said. There's no grammar, there's no explanation around it. Maybe it's just a way of finding out the real ones. We can't tell. Okay.
Do you understand? Yeah.
The crypto market, it's a bloodbath. Yesterday was a bad, let me see, I call it a bad day. It was a red day for the market. The market got liquidated by nothing less than $2 billion. Crypto market, Bitcoin drops below 100,000 following the FOMC Fed rate cut. I saw that coming. I saw the rate cut coming because we've been having consistent rate cut in the US. And that's why we've been seeing capital flight from those economies to frontier economies like that of Nigeria. Do you think do you think the market is going to bounce back from this low swing that we're experiencing now?
When I think this man is in the picture, Jerome Powell.
Yeah, Jerome Powell.
I think he made a statement about Bitcoin not being should not be used as
a
legal tender. That statement is heavy. So based on that statement alone, I don't know the swing, except it comes out. And that man is a very powerful man. I mean, if you're very familiar with the financial market, just one word from him can
make
the market.
Yeah, very true. Very
you understand? So
it's a force in the market.
It's a force in the market. There's a financial joke that trends. They say the most expensive good afternoon in the market is from Jerome Powell.
It's from Jerome.
So if he just says good afternoon, the market is confused. So for him to make such a strong statement gives you an impression that the market might swing back or bounce back, but it might take time. It might take time because of this persistent rate cut, like you said. So, and aside the rate cut, Jerome Powell involved making such a statement. We just approach the market with optimism, or however, bouncing back, going up, coming down. We just look for how to, blending and
as a day trader
from it. Exactly. Yeah. So.
All right. So approaching the market with optimism. We're going to come back. When we come back, we're going straight into the market segments for you to be able to see what the actual price of Bitcoin is and a couple of other assets, and also see what we have with a few reactions from social media. We'll be right back after the break.
From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice.
Let's take a look at what is happening in the market. Let's see the price of Bitcoin. After what happened, it dropped below $100,000 after the statement from Jerome Powell. It's one of the most powerful figures in finance. Look at BTC, $97,000 as we speak. We've had market decline of 3.49% decline in the market. The price of Ethereum, we're also seeing 7%. Look, it's a bloodbath from top to bottom. Among the top 7 most capitalized assets on the chart, we're seeing Dogecoin experiencing 11.9% decline. Look at Solana. Solana experiencing 8.4% decline as well. Ethereum 7.82 and Bitcoin 3.49. That gives you an insight as to how much, how volatile this market can be. I always tell you, before investing in any of all these asset classes, make sure you seek financial advice, because you can make a fortune and at the same time lose an entire fortune because of how volatile this market is. This is where we draw the curtains to the end of the business. My name is Frank Fagbo. I want to say a very big thank you for staying with me all through this 55 minutes, taking a look at what is happening with different economies and also what is happening with businesses and your finance. My name is Frank Fagbo. Catch me across all social media platforms at Fagbo Frank. And then we continue the conversation about your money. Make sure you stay logged because the sports show is coming next. Kiz the K has got you covered. Don't go anywhere. Voice of the People Television has got you covered. Cheers.